The Dodge Challenger RTs, man, just don't get enough respect. I'm here to speak on why the Dodge Challenger RTs deserve respect, man. God is everything. Without God, I'm nothing. Alright guys, so if I'm being honest, there was a time that the RTs were relevant. Now, that's been a long time ago. There was a lot of things that took place in between here and there that the Challenger just started slowly becoming, not the Challenger, but the Challenger RTs or Charger RTs, but basically the 5.7 Hemis just became irrelevant at a point. Like, the RTs basically got put in the category with the V6s. You know, other than it's a V8 and it sounds good, you know, they just like, oh, that's just a RT, man, you know. Nah, these cars aren't the slowest things on the road, but man, if you talk to somebody, man, they will literally make you feel that way about these cars, man. But these cars are still pretty swift. I mean, there's a lot of things on them that are restricting. I know the header's been one of them. But I still feel like these are some, you know, pretty relevant cars as far as speed. Now, when you talking about trying to compete, be competitive, you want to race a Scat Pack or a 5.0 Mustang or Camaro with the 6.2 in them, you kind of out your league at that point. So I would say when you're trying to compare it to those cars, no, you're not in that category. But that leads me to my next point to say, or to better yet explain why the 5.7s have become so irrelevant, man. Here's why. When the Hellcat came out, oh man, that just shook everybody up. The Hellcat shook up the Ford guys, shoot, even us, man. It was just a different car. 707 horsepower, and the Challenger RTs are only what, 300 and I think they advertised it at 375 horses in a big 4,000 pound car. I would have to say that on paper, that looks horrible. That looks horrible. But I still honestly feel like, you know, if you wanted to make an RT fast, which is the point that I plan to prove, and there's plenty of guys on YouTube that have already proved this, you can for sure make an RT very fast. There's adapters that you can put on a 5.7 Hemi, and man, you can make that thing fast. Put the adapter on it, put the Hellcat supercharger on it, and I mean, you talk about a 5.7 and a 6.2. I think the Hellcat are. They 6.2 liters. That's not that many. That's not that big of a difference in cubic inches. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like with the same supercharger on it, it could be a competitive, you know, race. You know. Now, some people have said that the Challengers, the 5.7s, can't handle more than 9 pounds of boost, but I've seen multiple guys that they've been running 12, 15 pounds of boost for the longest on their stock bottom ends. So this car will be boosted. Mine will be boosted, and I plan to prove a point with mine. But yeah, man, people just act like the 5.7s are just nothing nowadays. Oh man, you got an RT? Man, no man, you should have got a Scat Pack. I can't afford no Scat Pack. Here's the backstory on how I ended up with this car. So years ago, there was a bank, one of my local credit unions down here, Robbins Financial Credit Union. Anybody that lives in this area, I know that they know. Robbins used to sell cars that they had repoed, and I used to always go look. If I hadn't got this car, there was a automatic Camaro, which is why I didn't get it. There was an automatic Camaro that that was and that I test drove and that I looked at, and that was really high up on my list. but I wanted a stick shift, and I was just hard up on getting a stick shift. I was like, hey, I want a stick shift, and you know, I'm basically not gonna settle until I get a stick shift. So I ended up, this Challenger eventually came through, and yeah, it was history. I drove it one time, and that was the end of it. Trying to get traffic to move. People know whoever stopped first, go first. You stop first. But anyway, so the people that, you know, dang, I forgot what I was saying, y'all. Woo! What was I saying? Oh, so I test drove this car, and even though I felt that it wasn't quite as fast as the Camaro, I wanted that stick shift. So there was no other stick shift cars that came through. So lo and behold, here we are. And man, I paid $20,000 for this car. $20,000. And this was way back in 2017, 2016 when I got this car. This car is a 13, so this was a 3-year-old car that I paid way below what everybody else had been paying. So I want to continue to iterate how cheap I got this car. I got this car so cheap that I would go to the dealership, and the dealership would try to convince me to get a newer car, and they would be like, okay, what are you currently paying right now for your car? And I would say, oh, I'm paying like I think I was paying like $380 a month for this car, and that's pretty much unheard of for these cars. Even back then, it's definitely unheard of now. And he was like, man, how are you doing that? And I'm like, hey, I just got a good deal, man. That's about all I can say about the whole thing, you know. But he continued to try to sell me something, man. He's like, man, you just got a RT, man. You at least need a scat pack. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, but nah, I'm good, you know. Cause honestly, I haven't even ever raced this car before. So actually raced it. I've been playing around on the street with people. I've done that, but as far as just a straight race, I've never done that. So I mean, that being said, I mean, I didn't need any of that. So, and I actually wanted a 392. If I'm being honest, I actually wanted a 392. That's what I wanted. This was before the Hellcat came out. I wanted a 392, or maybe the Hellcat came out and it was so expensive that I didn't even consider it. But even before the Hellcat came out, I know I wanted an SRT. I know I wanted the SRT 392. But at the time, I was early 20s, 21. I might have been like 21 years old when I got this car. And the insurance on that was finna be ridiculous at 21. And yes, I was paying my own insurance. I had my own insurance policy, all of that. So I was taking care of business at that young age. So that just wasn't an option at that time. And maybe if I had found one in this same situation where I got it from, it got repoed and I ended up with it, okay, maybe in that situation, you know, it could work. But otherwise, I couldn't do it. It wasn't gonna work. So to y'all, I got a little hungry while we were riding, and while I was telling y'all about this, so I stopped at Barbaritos, got me a little sub, man. Got me some of that cheese dip. You know about that cheese, y'all know about that queso. Y'all know about that queso. But I got me that, a chicken burrito, and a medium queso. I don't know how that's a medium, but it's a medium. And this is a medium drink. But anyway, man, I said all that to say this. I respect everybody, even the V6 guys, man. The V6 guys, they be doing too much sometimes, but I still respect y'all. I respect all cars. I like all cars. I'm a car guy. So whether you got a Ford Mustang with just a 302 in it, bone stock 302, no cam, no pipes, no nothing. Hey, I look at it and I be like, oh man, fuck body, man. You know, that's just me. And I wish y'all didn't expect everything to be 1,000 horses. Everything gotta be 1,000 horses to be fun. 400 horses can be fun. 400 horses to the crank can be fun. If you build it right, 300 horses can be fun. So just respect people build, man.